Hi guys. So, um I'm back to tell y'all another crazy story from my childhood. um the reason I thought of this is because the guy who is a part of this story, um he actually sent me a message on Facebook. And when he messaged me, he was like, "What's up? How are you? And what you been up to?" And I'm just like, is this nigga really messaging me? Like, really asking how I'm doing? Oh my God. So I figured I would tell you guys about this story. And it's pretty bizarre, but it's the damn story of my life. Anyway, so when I was in middle school, I've mentioned this a lot before. I used to get picked on a lot when I was in middle school. Um, it was bad. I hated middle school. I got picked on so bad. It was no, like, it made no sense, the way that I was treated. So anyway, when I was in 7th grade, up until I was in 8th grade, there was this boy in my class, and I'm not going to say his name because, I don't want to have any type of confrontation with him. I'm not scared of him or nothing because he ain't shit, but I just don't want to have any type of confrontation at all for him to be like, why you talking about me in your videos and whatever. I don't give a fuck, but I'm not going to say his name just to spare myself the future frustration that might happen in case he ever came across this video. Now, if he decides to say something, he putting himself out there because I did not mention any name, but he is going to get a fake name. So I'm going to call him JC. Um, so when I was in class, I got picked on a lot, and it was really bad. Um, but there was this boy in my class named JC, and everybody liked JC. Everybody was talking about JC. Everybody wanted to be with JC. Everybody thought he was cute. Me, on the other hand, I did not like JC. I did not think he was cute. I thought he was an asshole, right? So JC constantly fucked with me in class. He would go through my book bag. He would, take my personal items. He would he would always fuck with me. Like, I could be writing, doing my homework. He'll take my homework and then, like, try to threaten to hit me, or he gonna beat my ass if I do something or tell somebody, right? And so there was this girl in my class, and he started messing with her, and she was like, "I'm not Harriet. I'm not gonna let you mess with me like that." And I was just like looking at her like, "Bitch, really? You had to put me in there?" And he, everybody's laughing, because I mean, that's the thing I can't stand about children. Like, you see your classmate getting picked on, getting fucked with, and you don't do nothing. But when the shit come to you, you try to direct the shit back to the person that's getting picked on instead of standing up and saying, you're not gonna mess with me, or I'm not Harriet. You're not gonna mess with me like that, bitch. Like, bitch. Anyway, so one day, um, one day when I was in class, it was Valentine's Day, I think. And someone sent me, because they had this thing set up where you can anonymously send someone you know, like a piece of candy, a flower, or something like that. You had to pay like $2 or $3, something, depending on what you chose to send the person. So someone sent me a lip shaped lollipop. I didn't know who it was from. It was from Anonymous. And when they called my name to bring me the candy in class, I was like, who the hell sent me something, right? So they get the candy and they give me the candy, and I look at the card and it says something. I think it said, I still think you're beautiful, or, you know, or don't let these people. I can't even remember. It was something really nice though. I don't know who sent me the candy in the card. So this boy, JC, takes my card and candy and he eats my candy in front of my face. And I looked at him and I said, why do you do that to me? Like, what do you get out of treating me like that? Bitch, shut up. Shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch. And then, you know, his friends would be laughing, you know, egging him on. And it's just like nobody ever stepped in to say anything to this dude about the way he was treating me. Now, I went to school with my cousins, you know, and my boy cousins. Now, it was a point in time where I was actually really mad at my cousins because, well, not one in particular I was mad at because, you know, everybody knew we were related because of our last name. And then other people would be like, oh, he said that he's not related to her. And that used to hurt me because the reason he said it is because I was picked on so bad. He didn't want to be associated with me, you know, but, you know, I guess he kind of grew out of that. It was like an embarrassment for him for people to know that me and him were really related. Like, we have a common name. I mean, not a common name. You know, our name is very uncommon. So people are going to know, like, y'all are related. And one day, JC, you know, JC was friends with my cousin. And he came and asked me and was like, how are you and such related? And I said, my mom and his dad are brother and sister. He was like, oh, so y'all like blood cousins. Y'all got the same blood. I was like, yeah. He was like, oh, so, you know, why he don't ever step in to do anything? And now this is the person, JC, asking me why my cousin don't ever step in to help me. I said, I don't know. And, you know, he was like, well, you know, trying to be nice to me. And I saw it as being like weird. You know, he was trying to be nice. And so I walked away from him while he was talking to me because I did not like him. You know, I didn't want to have no friendship with him because he treated me really bad. So then there was this one day I went to the bathroom. It was just me in the hallways. And he snuck out of class after I went to the bathroom. And when I was coming back to class, I saw him coming down the hallway. So I walked on the opposite direction of the hallway. And when I did that, he came in front of me and was like, what the fuck you did that for? I said, look, JC, I don't want no problems. I said, I'm just trying to go back to class. Can you leave me alone? And he was like, no, I'm not going to leave you alone. I'm going to keep bothering you. And the next thing I know, he gives me a fucking kiss, right? And I stepped back and pushed him and I ran to class, right? So after class was done, and I didn't tell anybody what had happened. So after the bell rung for us to go to our next class, he pushed me against the wall. Soon as we was coming out of class, he pushed me against the wall and came up close to my face and said, "If you tell anybody what the fuck I did, I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass." And I just looked at him like, I was like, what did I do to this person? So I was scared at that point, because he was always threatening to beat me up and all types of shit. So I went to my next class. And I was in my next class, and he had my next class with me. And on this particular day, he decided he wanted to sit behind me. So he sat behind me and was poking me with pens, poking me with pencils, and stuff like that. So I raised my hand, and I asked the teacher if I could talk to them. And so he looked at me. When I got up to go talk to the teacher, I asked if I could go outside and talk to the teacher. So I told the teacher, JC is really been, mean to me. He's poking me with stuff. He's doing all this. He's doing all that. I said, it makes me uncomfortable. So when I came back in class, I sat down. The teacher called JC out into the hallway. And everybody's like, ooh, because they knew he always fucked with me, right? So he got sent to the principal's office. And then a few minutes later, the principal called me in and, asked me to tell her, what was going on and everything. And I told her, I said, he's very mean to me. He's always hitting me and, beating me up in class and, doing all this type of stuff to me. And I said, and I don't think that's fair that he, does that and nobody ever says anything to him. They just let him do what he want to do to me. So, the principal was like asking him, is this true? Why do you bother her? This, that, and the other. And so the principal goes, it almost seems as if you like her. I don't like her. Why would I like her? Look at her. Look at her. She's ugly. She's this. And the principal's like, now that's uncalled for and all this. The principal kind of pissed me off. I didn't like our principal because I was always in her office as a victim, and she never really did anything to prevent these kids from harassing me the way that they did. So JC got suspended for 3 days. That third day he came back. I was afraid. I thought, oh God, he gonna mess with me. He gonna do this. He gonna do that. So I had to go to the bathroom. And I went to the bathroom I forgot what period we was in. But I went to the bathroom, and I was in the bathroom, and I saw JC in the hallway standing there like he was waiting for me. And I went back in the bathroom, and I was like, what did I do to this person? Like, why is he always doing that to me? I was crying, and I didn't want him to see me crying. So, I wiped my face and everything before I went back out there, because I was just like, why did he do this to me? Why does he always bother me like this? So I go and I'm walking, and I went the other direction to go the long way to go back to my class because I didn't want to walk past him. He followed me and he pushed me, like pushed my back, like just shoved the shit out of me. And he came up to my face and was like, why the fuck you told on me? What I told you it was gonna happen. when you told on me. And I said, can you leave me alone? Why do you always bother me? So he goes, you know what? Just because you did that, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to keep fucking with you. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then he goes, oh, you my girlfriend. I looked at him like, excuse me? He forced me to be his girlfriend. But he told me, nobody wants me, okay? Don't nobody fucking want you anyway. You should be glad that I like you. He had a girlfriend that everybody publicly knew about in school, but he forced me to be his girlfriend. And I told him no. I said no. And at this point, I had, one sort of good friend. And I told her about, this was before I met Camille. This was before she came to my school. So I didn't know Camille at this time. And I had this one good friend, and I told her, JC, he trying to force me to be his girlfriend. And she was like, why would he do that? And I said, I don't know. He's really mean to me. And so she was like, well, tell the principal. I said, that's not going to do anything but make it worse. I said, these teachers do not care about me. Like, anything could fucking happen, and they don't give a shit. They give these kids slap on the wrist, when they fuck with students like that. I said, it's not going to do anything but make it worse. So after school, when I was walking home after school, I had saw JC. Now he was with his homeboys or whatever, and I was walking in front of them. They were behind me. JC comes up and slaps the back of my head hard as fuck. And they laughing, ha ha ha, giggity giggity, whatever, laughing hard as fuck. And I'm just like, so I didn't say anything, right? I went home and I told my mom, I said, I don't want to go to school anymore. And, my mom was a very strong mother. She was, but the fact that she was a strong mother, it made it difficult to talk to her about things. So a lot of shit that I went through in my childhood, I never talked to my mom about it because she made it really difficult for me to be comfortable with telling her everything. But it's like now, as me being an adult, she's more mellow. It's easier for me to talk to her about things than how it was when I was a teenager and a preteen in school. So I told my mom, I don't want to go back to school. I don't want to go back to that school. So it got to a point where I did not care about being late. I did not care about missing days of school. If I got up, I got up. If I didn't, I didn't. I didn't care. So I missed a day of school. And the next day that I came to school, JC was like, why you didn't come to school yesterday? Like, but he waited like when we were going in class. And he thought nobody was paying attention. He came close to my ear, like behind me, why you didn't come to school yesterday? And I didn't say anything to him. I figured if I ignored him and didn't speak to him, it would probably help me out in this situation, but it made it worse. So he, oh, so now you ain't gonna say anything to me? You don't want to talk? So I ignored him. I didn't say anything. I just looked straight ahead, not saying nothing, just looked straight ahead. Went into class, sat down. He sat behind me, throwing pencils at me, throwing little paper balls at me, spitting at me, slapping me, doing all this shit, right? So I didn't say anything and I ignored him. So one day after, not one day, that same day after that, we were in last period and it was PE. And I was very sad this day. I didn't speak to anybody that day. People came talking to me. I didn't even bother talking to them. Didn't even bother, responding to anyone because I was so sad that day. Like, I felt hopeless almost. It's like I can't even explain, but I felt very hopeless at this point. So he had my last period of PE, and he came and sat behind me on the bleachers because I just sat out. I didn't even talk to the coach, but she knew, why. And she just, it was times where she knew what I was dealing with and she would try to help. She was probably the only teacher I had that would, really try to keep the other students from, harassing me or whatever. So she knew that day that I was not up to, doing anything. So she let me sit out. So I sat out and JC came and sat behind me on the bleachers with a basketball. And he takes the basketball and starts bouncing it back and forth on my fucking back. So when he did that, I got up and I took the basketball and I popped him in the head with it like 2 times. I said, pop, pop. And he flew back. Not flew, but he fell back, right? And I started yelling and screaming and yelling and screaming. And then I just left. Like, I just left and went home. So, I didn't go to school that next day. And I didn't go to school the next day after that. And, the third day, my mom told me I had to go to school, right? So, I got up. I put on some baggy jeans, a baggy t-shirt, a baggy sweatshirt, whatever, baggy jacket, zipped it up, and got my stuff, walked to school, came in class, sat down. And as soon as I sat down in class, I got called into the principal's office. So the principal asked me what happened yesterday, what happened 2 days ago. Why did I do what I did? Why did I just leave school? And I told her, I said, I hate this school. And she was like, well, why do you hate the school? I said, because nobody protects me from the people in this school. I said, y'all just let these kids roam free and do what they want to do to other students who, are being bullied, and nobody wants to do anything. Nobody wants to say anything. They just let these people do what they want to do. I said, and I'm tired of being people's punching bag. So she said, well, what is going on? I said, JC is trying to force me to be with him. He's trying to do this. He's trying to do that. I told her everything. And I said, I hate coming to this school. I hate coming here. I want to leave. I wish I didn't have to go to school, right? So JC gets called in again. They talk to him. They talk to me. He gets suspended for 1 day this time, right? What that do but make the situation fucking worse, right? So that next day, after his suspension, when he came back to school, he had stopped me in the hallway. He grabbed my hand and was like, "I'm sorry." So I snatched my hand away, didn't even bother paying any attention to him, right? So I kept walking. He stopped in front of me. "I'm sorry." And I said, "Good for you." Went around him, kept walking, going to my class. And this day he sat in front of me and he turned around to the side. You know, like how desks are. You turn around, whatever. He turned to the side and was saying, "You mad at me?" And I told him, I said, "I think you're an asshole." I said, "And I don't like you. You're ugly to me." I said, "All these girls out here are confused as fuck for thinking that you are cute." I said, "You're ugly. You stink and you're fucking ugly." And he looked at me and he turned around as if I really hurt his feelings. So again, I went to the bathroom. He always used to sneak out of class, and the teachers never did shit, never said nothing, never did a goddamn thing to him or anything. He snuck out of class again, and he said, "You know, I really like you." And I'm like, "Why?" I said, "The way you treat me, how you are," I said, "that's what you do to somebody you like." He said, "You know, I'm young. What am I supposed to do?" He said, "I don't know." I said, "What the fuck you mean you don't know?" Like, and this is how I used to talk in middle school. I used to curse like a sailor, okay? And you know, I was like, "I don't like you. I think you're disgusting. I think you're ugly." You know, and all these girls used to think that he was so damn cute. Everybody used to always talk about JC, 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 JC. And it was, and to me, I would be like, "Why y'all?" And his breath used to stink. Like, he had like overly sized teeth, like really big teeth, and he always used to have like extra saliva. So when he talked, his breath smelled like spit, if you get what I mean. His breath had like a stink smell to it. So, you know, I told him, I said, "You stink. I don't like you. I don't like your attitude. I don't like the way you treat me. I don't like you. Leave me alone." "So, you still my girlfriend?" I said, "Hell no. I don't like you. I've never considered myself to be your girlfriend. You can't force somebody to be with you. You can't force somebody to be your fucking girlfriend." I said, "I never liked you. I don't like you. I don't think you're cute. I don't think you're all that." I said, "Leave me alone. You know, leave me alone." So, and at this time, he was not the only person that was harassing me. You know, he was just the worst. You know, he was the worst. And it was bad. Like, it was so bad. He basically bullied me into being his girlfriend. And I never considered myself his girlfriend at all. But he considered me to be his girlfriend, even though he had a girlfriend that everybody knew about that, you know, was really pretty. She was a real pretty girl. She had this long, pretty hair, natural hair, you know. Everybody knew they was together. And here I am, you know, the fat girl in the class with the glasses, you know, and he likes me, and I don't know why. you know, and I think a little bit after that, somebody in class had said something to him about him bothering me. It was another girl. I forgot who it was. Luz. I think her name was Luz. And she said, "Why don't you leave her alone? Why are you always bothering her?" You know, and this one particular day told her shut the fuck up, right? Now, with this shit going on, you ask yourself, where the fuck were the teachers? Where was the staff to prevent this shit from happening? Right? They weren't there. They were there, but they were not there. Okay? Anyway, long story short, he ended up leaving me alone because I ignored him a lot. And I think that it really hurt him to know that I didn't like him. I didn't think he was cute. And I told him all this shit about him. Yet other girls around the school are building his head up. Oh, he is so cute. JC is so cute. Oh, he is so cute. I want to be with him. He is so cute. And he was not cute to me at all. Like, when I was, in high school, he came to our school. He didn't go there, but I saw him when I was leaving school one day covered in tattoos, and his hair was still braided. He still had braids. And I looked at him and I was just like, he saw me. And, he tried to start a conversation with me. And I was like, hey, like, I was in 12th grade at this time, trying not to hold no grudges. I was at a good place almost, I liked high school a little bit better. High school was much better for me, but I hated middle school. It was so bad. But I saw him and he was like, how you doing? And I said, fine, I'm good, and kept walking. And I guess I'm not sure what the hell his problem was, but I wish there were more people to just step in and do shit about students bullying and harassing other students, and then especially ones that force you to be their girlfriend. And it's like, I never understood why he liked me anyway. And if he did like me, why did he inflict so much pain on me? He used to hit me, slap me, punch me, like steal my shit, take my stuff out of my bag. He would take like my notebooks and pens and shit out of my bag. Like, you like me, but you always doing shit to hurt me, really? And I'm supposed to like you back? Really? Anyway, I know some of my friends from middle school watch my videos, and I'm pretty sure they might not know who I'm talking about, but then again, they might know who I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm not gonna say his name, but he know who the fuck he is. And you know what? If he says something about it, he know his ass guilty because I didn't put it out there. But I don't give a fuck anyway. Fuck that nigga. Anyway, that's it. And I'll talk to you guys later.